evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of Pardon Our Picks, where perfection is a work in progress. Just as last week, I'm joined by my former host, Sam. How you doing, Sam?
Doing all right. How you doing?
Oh, it's another great day to talk about football. And as always, my rival, my co-host, the Orange Bomber, Tarek. How are you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good tonight. Ready to talk about some football. How about you?
Man, I just can't wait. I've been waiting for this week for a long time. And joining us for 2 weeks in a row, Baltimore's bombshell, Jess. How are you doing?
I'm doing a lot better than I was last week. So, I won't forget my games this week, right, Sam?
It's okay. We all make mistakes. I make a lot.
Just like the tagline says, perfection's a work in progress. The merch is coming soon, folks. Just wait. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, you've been watching us for a few weeks. What's this guy doing the intro? That's normally Sam's job. What is this, backup week? And a lot of NFL teams are saying the exact same thing with their quarterback situation. So my question to you three, and really myself, is which on the depth chart backup quarterback at the end of the season is going to have the most successful NFL season? And because I'm a gentleman, Jess, let's start with you.
So I think the most impressive backup quarterback to me so far has been Bailey Zappi. I don't know about long-term stat-wise if it's going to be, if he's going to be the leader for 2022, just because I don't think Mac Jones is going to be out much longer. But so far, week by week, he seems to be getting more comfortable with his with the offense, getting more familiar with everyone, and it's thrown for 4 touchdowns. He's almost 600 yards. He's looking pretty good for I guess second string, or is he third?
Second.
I mean, I don't know. And now they're even debating, or the media is making up the debate.
It says second on ESPN.
It's because Brian Hoyer got hurt.
Yeah, that's
he's
right.
No longer third.
Well,
he's on IR.
But now the media is even making up the whole controversy of whether or not they're going to start Mac Jones, which they will. But I think Zappi is the most impressive to this point.
OB, let's go to you, Tarek.
All right. So we're breaking format at the beginning. I'm going to break format again and say I agree. This is got to keep changing it up. People don't know which direction I'm going. So first off, I have a question. Is it Bailey Zappi, or are we doing that with Lamari Coopy? Or like,
that's
his name on purpose? It is
that's
actually
his actual birth on his birth certificate name.
Yep, Bailey
Okay.
Zappi.
I just thought we were going along with the Coopy shtick, and it's just that. So, all right, his name's actually Zappi. All right, but this seems. I think they will start Matt Jones again, but it seems very familiar with the previous situation that happened many, many years ago that Sam may be familiar with. Similar thing happened to his team with the same guy, Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe went out, new guy came in, new guy got the job. So happened with Tom Brady, happened with I just lost his name. Tony Romo. That's it. So I don't think that'll quite happen this time. Mac Jones has proved to be pretty good, but I don't know that Bailey Zappi will stay on the Patriots after this, because people are going to want him, like maybe the Broncos. I'm sorry, something caught in my throat. So, but yes, he seems like the most promising to me.
Does Jacoby Brissett count? Because he started the season.
He does count.
He does count, because as soon as Deshaun Watson comes back, he's going to start.
Well, if it wasn't going to be him, I was going to say Deshaun Watson. So I think actually Jacoby Brissett's going to be the most impressive. Other than, of course, Cooper Rush. He's out. He's not going to be playing after this last week. But I think he has actually held together the ship quite a bit over the past couple of weeks. And he's going to have to do the same thing later on in the season, up until week 11, I believe. And quite frankly, I think he's done a decent job. I mean, look at him. I mean, they're 2-3. They're right in the thick of things in their division, and I think he is the best one out of all of them. He's also the most longest tenured one out of all of them. I believe it's a difficult position to be in Cleveland, knowing that you're going to just come right back out as soon as the criminal comes back, of course. So, but I think he's done a decent job. I think he's led the team admirably, and I believe that's my pick right there.
Now, I'm going to agree with one side of wherever the other people are, and it's going to be with Sam. I actually think that the Browns' woes aren't due to quarterback play. I mean, Jacoby Brissett's been around the league long enough. He's proven that he can win with his arms and his legs when needed to. And Bailey Zappi, I think as soon as Mac Jones is healthy, he's going to be replaced. I mean, we've seen, Cooper Rush is getting replaced this week by Dak. And then also in Carolina, who's going to be with backups and Baker Mayfield. I mean, you can only go up from there, but that roster is worse than just the quarterback. So I think Jacoby Brissett he's playing for a job next season, maybe a starting job with the aforementioned Broncos from Tarek. But I guess we'll see how the rest of the season pans out. And with that, the shtick's over. I'm going to pass the mic back to Sam.
Well, speaking of how well people have done and how well they're going to do, let's take a look at our records.
I don't want to.
Right now, Jessica with the only winning week out of all.
It was
of
a
us.
rough week.
Brady with a nice 500. However, she's now tied with me for the lead. It was a rough week.
I dropped like 3 spots. Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah,
It was rough for everyone. I mean, there were so many upsets that nobody saw coming, and they weren't even really upsets. It was just the other teams not performing. Yeah. And not to mention not performing, that's my fault. I forgot to mention our sponsors for the video. In Too Deep, you can catch them at Fishhead Cantina on October 21st. It's going to be a great show. I've seen them a million times. And by Aardvark Concepts, they are more than just a sign shop. And hopefully they can make me a sign that says, I know what I'm doing, because clearly I don't.
And this is why I'm the host. So.
Coming for your job, Sam.
Oh, it's never going to happen. Remember what happened last year when you guys tried to fill in?
If you tried to take my job, it didn't work.
Tried to fill in for me last year. It didn't go so well. Anyway, let's move on to our games of the week. We're going to start with football. Jesus, what you got, buddy?
Man, I just love it when you call me that. You know what? Just for you, Sam, I picked this game. I picked the Detroit Lions going against the Dallas Cowboys. Sam's Dallas Cowboys getting their starting quarterback back, who in his one game this season, he didn't look good. I mean, his completion percentage was in the toilet. And the defense did its best, but the offense just couldn't generate enough. And what does it say when that offense was able to at least generate some points with Cooper Rush over Dak Prescott?
What's his name? Koopy Rush?
Koopy Rush. Yes.
Koopy Rush.
Koopy Rush. Now, the Detroit Lions had the early bye week. They were off last week, able to rehab some of their injuries to their number one receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and starting running back, DeAndre Swift. So I really think this game kind of lines up well on paper. I really had a tough time picking this one because I feel like the Lions are going to be hungry for that victory coming off the bye week, being healthy, and their offense has shown that they are capable of putting up a ton of points, but only when that defense gives up a ton of points. So with that being said, I picked the Cowboys in this one because I think the Cowboys defense has played against much better offenses and held them to far lower points than expected. And I think Dak's going to do just enough to make sure that the Cowboys win his return.
So I actually also picked Dallas, but I do agree with a lot of what Brady said. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think Detroit is going to fight for it, but at the end of the day, Micah Parsons, I mean, he only needs one sack to beat the Dallas's record by DeMarcus Ware for the team. And Dak's coming back this week. That might give him a little bit of fuel. I don't think. What are you making that face for, Sam?
I'm just curious what record you're talking about.
Most sacks by a Dallas Cowboy.
No. No. DeMarcus Ware had almost 20 in a season.
Maybe no. I'm telling you, that's what I. All right. Either way.
I'll look it up, but
Yeah. Thanks. So Dak's coming back. Pollard's doing great running the ball. I think that's got to be their approach. They can't put too much on Dak coming back. They got to do what they've been doing to win these games so far with their backup quarterback. The defense has to hold Detroit, which I think they will pretty well. And I think Goff tends to make a lot of mistakes when he's pressured too much. So it's going to be close because of those two main Lions coming back, but I am taking Dallas here, though it was a tough choice.
All right, yeah. So I guess we're going off of patterns here. So I'm also going with Dallas. They've looked really good. The only two games they've lost have been against Philadelphia, who's on fire, and the Bucks, who are hit or miss depending on how Tom Brady's feeling that day. So
Depending on whether he's fighting with his wife or not.
Oh yeah, whether he's smashing tablets or what have you. So Dallas has looked really good. They look better than they have to me in like just years. So Cooper Rush Koopy Rush doing well. So I'm going with Dallas. Not
okay.
much to say on top of what has already been said.
All right. So, I mean, I can't find anything in regards to DeMarcus Ware's
Well,
His single season record is
NFL
20.
Network.
His
NFL
single
Network.
season record is 20.
Single season record for DeMarcus Ware is 20.
Yes.
NFL Network literally just interviewed DeMarcus Ware today with him telling Parsons to take his record because he's almost there. So either way,
He might be talking about overall throughout the season. He might be almost there because he's been actually absolutely amazing. I agree. He's been incredible. He's getting almost 2 sacks a game in the 17 games.
What is his record so far? Last year, his record was 16.
Yeah, he did really good. So, yeah, he absolutely could break it this year. He's not going to break it this week. That would be stupid crazy. But, I mean, I believe that the defense is the key here for Dallas. And quite frankly, how well that thumb holds up for Dak Prescott. I feel like that offense is hungry to score some points after getting embarrassed last week against Philadelphia. The Lions coming off of bye is what scares me. Their offense is very good. However, going up against a stout defense before the break, they went up against the New England Patriots and got shut out. They are going to struggle in this game, I think, even coming off a bye. I think Dallas puts up a lot of points and runs away with this in the third quarter. I have Dallas with the victory.
Parsons has 6, by the way.
It's 6 so far. Okay. He has a lot of twofers this year. So,
Yeah, it's probably like 2, 2, and 2, and missed a week or something.
yeah, something like that. But he's very good. I agree. He could break DeMarcus Ware's record this year.
This is tough. And this is a difficult one. I'm actually going to say
not bad.
I thought we had another person about to present.
You were talking about music. You were talking about music for each slide. I was like, oh, maybe that's the music he chose.
It was not.
Oh,
All right. So, Tarek, your game of the week.
All right, my game of the week, as you can see on our screen, is the Seahawks and the Chargers. I think this is a really good one. Both teams have looked really well. Seattle's been, I guess, a little hit or miss depending on the week. When they're on, they're really on. Chargers have also looked really good despite how much I hate them. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going with, let me just double check so I don't pull a Jess. I have the Seahawks. I have the Seahawks in an upset. I think they're going to do it. I think they're hungry for it. I think it's going to be close. We got Chargers have looked a little bit better on paper, but I also need some upset so I can call back in. So after this week and put me back towards the back of the pack. But I'm going with Seattle on this one.
I'm going to disagree with you there, Tarek. I think the Chargers, even though their offense looked arguably bad against the Broncos the last time they played, I think it's because the Broncos defense is actually one of the better parts of that team this year. And Seattle's defense, while they've made some plays, they also have allowed a mess ton of yards and a mess ton of points. So I think this is the week that the Chargers offense kind of gets back to form. They're hoping to get Keenan Allen back this week, and so am I for fantasy purposes. So I have the Chargers in this one, but I think this is going to be a very close game. Geno Smith's shown that he's got the stuff to be a starter in this league, and I think he could be the starting quarterback of Seattle until they draft his replacement.
Yeah, I'm definitely siding a lot with Brady on this one. I think I like what I see with Geno Smith. I like that the whole team seems to be behind him, really likes who he is and how he's playing, and that confidence is there. But at the end of the day, I think the Chargers are going to start firing on all cylinders with their offense. I do think they have some strength coming back this week, supposedly. So I am going to go. I don't think it's going to be that close of a game. I think that the Chargers are going to take it by at least a touchdown.
This game is actually a very hard one for me to pick. The Chargers defense, they picked up all those players in the offseason and they've done nothing. They have been terrible.
Sounds familiar.
It's sad. The Seahawks trade their quarterback away for somebody to just, placehold, and he's been doing pretty decent. I think I'm surprised that the record of the Chargers is a 4-2, considering how bad they played. Given Geno's resurgence this year in tough games and the Chargers' difficulties, I actually do see the Chargers winning this one, but I see it as being very close, very high scoring, and it's going to come down to the last possession. I see the Chargers with a very narrow margin of victory.
Another thing to think about with this game, too, is the Chargers kicker is out 2 to 4 weeks. So they're going to have some replacement kicking field goals and extra points for them.
Ooh,
so
that's rough. All right, let's get on to our next game of the week. Jessica, what is your game of the week?
I actually took the Thursday night game this week. So tomorrow night, right? Today's Wednesday? Yes.
Wednesday. Yeah.
That's New Orleans at Arizona. This is the first week that Hopkins comes back, which historically has been huge for Arizona. I would say even more so than necessarily Kyler Murray playing, because we all remember what happened when he came back last season. Hopkins really messes with the coverage aspect of it. He gets other guys open because he's such a big threat. I think Ertz will have a bigger game this week. Hopkins will have some great grabs. Murray will be able to scramble a little bit more. And just some of the stats from 2021 when Hopkins was in for 10 games, 2021, he had 42 receptions, 572 yards, 8 touchdowns, but again, allowed every other guy on the offense to get open. There are some injuries. Brown hurt. Robbie Anderson was just traded. We all saw that. So he's not quite ready. New Orleans has a lot of injuries this week. And they haven't really announced it at this point, but it looks like Dalton was probably going to be starting quarterback this week, which he's also complaining of back pain, back injuries. But Winston's not likely to play. It is also a short week for New Orleans, and I do think that Kamara and Shaheed will have to be the ones to help control the clock, keep the offense on the field. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be enough, and I am taking Arizona in this one. I think they're going to look like a powerhouse, or at least more so than they have so far this season, and I think they're taking it by 10 points.
I'm not going to lie, my back would be hurting too if I had to carry the team.
I mean, Taysom Hill will probably also get in there and, do his Taysom Hill thing. But it's not going to be enough.
All right. Yeah. So I'm going with Arizona as well. I mean, this one, after my controversial pick in the last round, I'm going to go back to the road here. This one to me isn't even close. Arizona's looked fantastic. Saints haven't, and everything that Jess has said, I really can't say anything different than that. She touched on a couple points I was already going to mention with the short week and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm going Arizona, no problem.
I think the biggest storyline coming out of this game isn't the fact that DeAndre Hopkins is starting, but that the Saints' top cornerback, Marshawn Lattimore, is not playing. So they're going to have at least their number 2 cornerback covering arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL currently. And the Saints are also are going to be without their top wide receiving threat in Michael Thomas. So I agree that I don't think this game is going to be close, but I do think Kyler Murray is going to make a few mistakes because there is a threat that their number 1 running back, James Conner, doesn't play. So they're going to be more reliant on him throwing the ball to DeAndre Hopkins, who has been suspended for the last 6 weeks, and Robbie Anderson, who they just acquired in a trade last week. So it's really a toss-up, I think, on how the Cardinals offense is going to win this game, but I think it's kind of a done deal at this point with how marred the Saints are with injuries at key positions.
I think that we missed one good opportunity for hi, Mr. Abbott. Hi, buddy.
Hi.
All right, go back to bed.
I think we missed one good opportunity for backup quarterback who could be a big asset to their team, and that's Andy Dalton. I think he's the better option out of the 2 of them right now. Jameis Winston is prone to throwing a lot of turnovers and interceptions, and quite frankly, he's the reason why the Buccaneers, when he was there the last year he was there, didn't make the playoffs with 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. Quite frankly, he's not very good. I don't like him in New Orleans. It's not a good fit for him. Andy Dalton, however, being there, I know he hasn't done great. He needs to get his feet underneath of him. He needs to get an opportunity to play a little bit more, to get that everyday work. However, I think that even with all that said, given DeAndre Hopkins coming back, he's going to be ready. I think he's going to be ready. They're not changing the scheme. He knows the scheme from last year, and he already has a rapport with his quarterback. So they should be clicking somewhat on Thursday. And I believe Robbie Anderson's not going to really factor in. I still have Arizona winning this one by at least 10 points. And saying all that, let's get on to my game of the week. And mind you, this one was very intriguing for me. I liked this one. The Colts at the Titans. This is actually a fight for first place in the division right here. Currently, the Colts are in first by half a point because of the tie, which is just weird. The Titans, however, they've been looking better. Derrick Henry has started to make his comeback. He's starting to be the bruiser he used to be. Their defense isn't something to be desired. However, the team they're going against, the Colts, their offense is pretty bad. They can't get the ball down the field. Matt Ryan, he might not have it anymore. And the Colts cannot continue to suffice on quarterbacks at the end of their careers to lead them to the playoffs anymore. It's just not going to work. Phillip Rivers last year didn't make it, even though he tried. He did everything he could. Matt Ryan this year. Next year, who knows? Who knows it's going to be? It could be Danny Dalton for all I know. But they keep picking up those quarterbacks at the end of their careers, and I quite frankly think that's the problem. Jonathan Taylor's still hurt, and I think the Tennessee runs away with this one.
All right, so this would have been one of my games of the week a couple of years ago, but don't really follow this team anymore. But I think this is very interesting, and this is very interesting for this division. This is a division who literally no one had a victory week one, no one, because 2 of the teams tied and the other 2 lost. So this is just messy. It's taken the Titans a couple weeks to get Derrick Henry and stuff back on track. I agree with everything Sam said. Indianapolis is trying to copy Denver's modus operandi, and Denver's proven it doesn't work. The only quarterback they got at the end of their career that did anything was Peyton Manning, and that's just because it's Peyton Manning. So these old veteran quarterbacks aren't gonna do it. This is in Tennessee. I think Tennessee's gaining some home field advantage here. I agree with Sam's maybe unintended pun of running away with it with Derrick Henry. But yeah, I see Tennessee handling this. I don't see it by much, but I see Tennessee getting out in front of the beginning and holding it.
Sam does not make unintended puns. Well, I guess I'll go ahead then. The Titans are coming off of a bye this week, are they not?
Yes, they are.
Okay. So with that, I think that the Titans definitely have an advantage. And yes, I agree. The Titans have Derrick Henry particularly has been looking more like the Derrick Henry of old that we were hoping to see more of this year. But with the loss of other key players on the Titans, he really hasn't been able to show that up until the last, I guess, week or so. Well, 2 weeks. Jonathan Taylor is a hard hit to Indy. And I agree with the Titans taking this one. I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a very physical game. And I'm going to go with the Titans by, I'd say, less than a touchdown.
Well, I'm going to pull a Tarek here, and I'm going to take this buggy that you guys have been driving and drive it completely off road. I'm going with the Colts.
Is that what I'm known for?
I'm going with the Colts in this one. And I'll tell you why. Because the Colts offense actually looked really good last week without Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I'm looking at Matt Ryan's stats from last week. Now, granted, he's, a billion years old, and he threw it 58 times last week, but he had a 72.4 completion percentage. Like, that's good. And he threw for 389 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions against the Jacksonville defense, who have actually been pretty good this year at holding their opponents down. I mean, they held the Chargers to no points for most of their game. And arguably, this is probably a hot take, but the Colts look better without Jonathan Taylor than they did with him this year. And the Tennessee Titans, yeah, they've won a couple of games, but I think the Colts are riding the hot hand right now. And I feel like Matt Ryan is kind of like that dog that gets cornered. You don't want to mess with him. Like, people are saying he's old, he's washed up, and he's going to come out and throw it 74 times this week if it means the Colts get a victory. So I have the Colts winning this one in a divisional game on the road on the strength of Matt Ryan's wrinkly old arm.
So let me just ask a question real quick. Matt Ryan's the same age as Sam, and that's a year older than me. So is Sam a million years old and I'm almost there?
In football years, Matt Ryan is like 90. It's like dog years. You play professional football, you age 50 times as quick.
Hey.
It's like the president, but worse.
Yes, exactly. I mean, sure, the president deals with, world problems and stress and potential nuclear winners, but he's not getting hit by 350-pound dudes for an hour at a time.
Maybe he should.
So anyway, let's get on to our quick hitters, and we're going to start our pop panel pick'ems.
You like your alliteration? You like your alliteration there, buddy?
The pop panel pick'ems. I'm surprised you guys didn't notice that last week.
I don't pay attention.
No,
obviously.
I'm just here to talk.
I edit the videos and upload them, and I don't pay attention.
Almost a complete wash, except for the Colts.
I just want to say this real quick. I insulted you, Marcus Mariota, and you won a game last week on the strength of your legs. I want to see it done with your arm. Win a game for Atlanta. Do better. I don't even have you in fantasy. I just want you to do better.
Yeah, Falcons ain't looking too bad.
Yeah,
I still went with the Bengals. I think they're on hot. I think they're on hot streak. So, All right, let's move on to the next one. Man, we had a couple of differences. I picked the Jaguars. I thought it was I thought the Jaguars pulled out an upset on this one. I see Brady, football Jesus, predicted the Commanders to lead their team into victory. Over the
Taylor, Heineke, whatever his name is. I think he's the right quarterback for this team at this point. And honestly, like I said, I don't think the Packers are making the playoffs. I'm going to ride that train until it hits the tracks this week.
I'm gonna ride that train too, but I still think they beat the Washington Commanders.
Aaron Rodgers can't complete a pass to his receivers. He wants to blame his receivers for him throwing the ball 10 yards past where they are. He's an NFL MVP multiple times. You can't blame a rookie for you not being able to hit him in stride. That's your fault, old man.
I don't think Amari Cooper and the Carolina Panthers are going to be able to overcome. No, wait, he's not on the Carolina Panthers. He's on the.
Just had to slide it in there.
That's right. His quarterback is on the Panthers. He's on the Browns, and I think the Browns lose this one. Amari, too bad for Amari Cooper.
Yeah, too bad for Amari Cooper.
We've lost one of our panel members.
It's fine. Perfection's a work in progress. Keep it rolling.
That's right. Split on the Broncos Jets game.
I'm honestly more surprised at that because, I mean, now granted, if Russell Wilson plays, that's why I picked the Jets. But if he doesn't play, the Broncos will probably win. Because as I found out today from TikTok, watch the internet, folks, Russell Wilson has more bathrooms in his house than he has touchdowns this year. He has 6 touchdowns and 12 bathrooms in his house.
This week he gets real close. I think he gets 4 touchdowns this week. I think it's going to be a big game for him.
That's more. How many touchdowns has he had this year?
6.
I was going to say, like 4 might be more than he's had all year. And he's played some bad teams. It's.
I think he has a big game this week. I just feel it. I
hope so. I hope so.
I just don't see it.
Of course, Tarek is the only one that picked Seattle, although that one was pretty much a coin flip for most of us.
I think Kansas City's riding the hot hand. Can't go against them at this point.
And Jessica's just she's all chalk so far.
What?
You're all chalk. No, you're all chalk. Like the projected.
You're making the smart picks to make sure you maintain your first place lead.
You're picking the people who are predicted to win the games.
Honestly, I don't look at who's favored each week.
I know that. I'm just saying right now, what all your picks have been chalk.
Okay. No, that's not true at all. That is not true at all.
Okay. Which one is it?
Last week when I was
this week.
Oh, this week.
This
Okay. Well, you said so far, so I thought you meant like this season.
No, I meant this week.
Okay. Yeah.
A couple games, but this week you picked mostly chalk.
There were a couple of them that I went back and forth on, like the Indy game or none of those. The San Francisco and Kansas City game, had Kansas City not been coming off of that loss, it would have been a tougher choice for me.
You still would have picked Kansas City, wouldn't you?
And folks, if you decided to tune into this video and do a drinking game to every time we said the word chalk, stop now.
Die of alcohol poisoning.
Listen, I don't think you said bold, crazy, like Cinderella story picks like Brady.
I'm a dreamer. I'm not even a dreamer. I know what's going to happen this week. Have you not seen the flow? It's football Jesus time, baby.
I'm pretty steady with my picks.
I'm in last place, but you know what? I said 3 weeks. This is the 3rd week, I think, since I said 3 weeks.
Your mom said she cut your hair.
No.
She did.
I don't care what she says. She lives half a continent away.
You got to take the comments from the previous show.
Love you, Mom.
Of course.
We love you.
For these 2 games, the Sunday and Monday night games, pretty much everything's the same. You know, I don't think anybody really believes in the other 2 teams.
Not really. I mean, if Kenny Pickett starts, maybe for the Steelers, but honestly, I think the Bears are the worst team on paper this year.
I think Kenny Pickett's out this week. I think he's hurt.
Yeah,
I mean, Trubisky came in and threw a few bombs.
He did, but he's still pretty terrible.
Yeah, but I mean, the team as a whole isn't
I
great.
mean, let's it say that you were the starting quarterback of the team that I just said I think is the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, but they're the worst team now.
That was
And
2 years ago.
also, isn't Tua potentially coming back this week?
He is
Supposed to
playing
be.
this week.
He's supposed to be coming back, unless there's a setback in his concussion protocol. Which, by the way, he did say that he blacked out after that hit and
Yep.
couldn't remember anything up to the point when
Yep.
he was in the ambulance.
Doesn't remember being carted off the field.
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, not fun.
Yeah, I've taken one too many hits in the head, but I always walked up the field or wobbled.
Apparently I walked, I just don't remember.
And then, of course, your team's on bye. They're getting a nice, much needed rest. Those 6-0 Eagles.
Much to my chagrin for most of my fantasy teams, yes. But
Yeah, well, I mean, they got a lot of the big hitters on those teams, so.
I don't even think Derrick Henry would have helped my team last week. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this utter chaos. We have fun. Hope you had fun with us. Leave us a like. Let us know you liked it. Use comments. Let us know what you think is going to happen, who you think is going to win, whether we're right or wrong. Subscribe so you know when we come up with videos. We're trying to adjust and change things and update things all the time. And is there anything else? Nope, I think that's it.
Hi.
Have a good one, guys. As always, I'm Tarek.
Jessica.
I'm Football Jesus.
And I'm Sam, and you have a great football week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.